and the players come out. Webs of lies spinning from their mouths. Stop looking, listen for a little while. Pay no attention to the men behind the curtain. Just look away when you see the blood spurting down to a steady drip. I promise to leave you a little bit. I'll be back for another drink tomorrow. I love the taste of your terror and your sorrow, bathing in your blood. It's never enough. Hello and welcome to the Iron Mountain Hour. I think this time I have sound. I tried to come on just a minute ago and had a issue with the software and it wasn't picking up my microphone, but I think that's got it now. I'll have to go back and delete that video. But I just wanted to jump in real quick. If you notice, I'm here alone tonight. I texted Tim a couple hours ago and told him that I probably wasn't going to do an episode tonight. I just wanted to jump on and say hello and tell you why I wasn't doing an episode tonight. But I want you to expect us here every night at 10. I want it to be a cozy place that you can jump back in. And I want it to feel like friends and family getting together to discuss some interesting things. So that's why it's really important for me to be here at 10. And I was, just with no audio. So I'm going to go ahead and delete that video. But hopefully you can hear me now. The reason that I told Tim I didn't feel like doing a video tonight is I got food poisoning last night. I went out and ate a steak with the wife and like to died all night and still not quite over it, but I did want to pop in and say hello. Yeah, and last week actually we had the snow while we were on the air Sunday night. We had a big snowstorm. Well, not a big snowstorm, but I think we got 6 inches or so up here on Iron Mountain. And we had probably the rest of the day, the next day, we had a good 6 inches or so. Me and my daughter went sledding, and I went down the neighbor's hill on an inner tube with my feet up in the air and hit a stump underneath the snow there. So yours truly, old Cliff, was in quite the pickle last week. I had a hard time walking. I missed a day of work. And then I got food poisoning last night. And from jumping back and forth to the toilet and the floor, my hips and my tailbone are as sore as can be. So I just don't really feel up to doing much, and I'm still kind of nauseated. But anyway, with that said, I do this. On the last episode, I talked about how I was going to have us a Discord server or something set up to be able to communicate with one another outside of the show. That way you can suggest things. And Discord, it turns out, it's actually going to work out really well because we can message one another anonymously in the Discord channel. Discord chat, users can all jump into our server and message one another about anything that they want. We also have a voice chat feature in there, so you can get on. If you decide you want to call into the show, you can use Discord to do that. So if I'll include instructions on how to do that probably in the next show, but I did want to let you know that I did get that set up. So if you saw last episode, it was entitled Episode 19, The Old Switcheroo, and what the changing in messaging means. What does it mean? And I theorized last week that when I was seeing all these different governments, local, up to the CDC, and even after the show, the UK government, they undid all their coronavirus restrictions. And you're starting to see around the world, most of the Western world especially, people are fed up with being locked down, and they're tired of watching the world destroyed around them. And they say, this is enough, we're not doing it anymore. And I think the various governments of the world are seeing that it's reaching a breaking point, and they're going to have to let off some of that steam. It's going to have to let off the pressure relief valve. So my what I posited on the last show was that they are not backing off completely. They're not just going to stop. These people still want to basically rule the world and control our lives. They're just going to go with a different tactic. It's kind of like the Saul Alinsky saying that anything that drags on too long is a drag. So even people who have been in on all this, and who have wanted to do their part, it's becoming much for them. And for the people who didn't want to, you're losing them completely. So my my theory was that they're going to be coming on to something else, and I posited that it was going to be the smart cities, the smart grid, back to the green kind of stuff. Um, the the cap and trade I brought up. I don't know if y'all remember that from about the 2010, 20 election or 2012 election. There was a lot of talk about cap and trade and to try to stop global warming, and what that basically was the the governments of the world would actually allot you a certain amount of carbon that you're allowed to use depending on what it is that you're doing, whether you're an individual, a family, a business, what kind of business you have. And if you go over that certain amount of carbon, then you get a fine for any more carbon you use. And this effectively allows people who are rich, companies who have been established and have a large war chest, that allows them to continue to use as much carbon as they want. They just have to pay for the privilege of it, which allows them to continue to make money and keep their place. Whereas small companies and small families, we're pretty much locked down and won't be able to go anywhere. So, Leonardo DiCaprio will still be able to chill on his, or Jeff Bezos get to chill on their, giant mega yachts with models and, drink champagne, while we're not allowed to drive a truck to the store because it could, hurt the environment, or we're not allowed to raise cattle because it could hurt the environment. But they're allowed to pay their allotment and go on. So, I went into a little more specifics as far as what that means, and they're going into putting smart meters in people's homes here in Elizabethton. They actually, I didn't even know this. I have a smart meter on my home already. I just went out there and looked after the episode, and so they must have done this while I was at work one day, and I didn't even know they did it. But I did see back in July of last year, there was an article from the Elizabethton Star that they were going to be doing that. So somehow I missed that. But as I kept looking into it, I saw, well, yesterday or Monday, the day after we did the show, the World Economic Forum actually had a symposium the Davos group, they're in Davos, Switzerland, that I had no idea they were having. And it was about how they were going to implement all the things I talked about on the episode last week. So if you missed that one, go check that one out, episode 19. The Well, let me show you this video real quick because I remember this. I think this was from the Super Bowl in 2008 or 10, and you probably saw it and probably thought it was cute, but if you didn't think it was realistic, it might seem cute, but this is really the kind of thing that the kind of tyranny that some of these people want to have in mind. And let's watch it and see what I'm talking about here. Well, they're giving us here. Gotta turn on my desktop audio. There we go. So hopefully you can hear this. I don't think you can hear it. I'm hoping you can. It's been a technical difficulty night. And you cannot hear it. So, never mind. All right. Well, in any case, I just wanted to do a quick episode to jump on here and tell you why I was out and why we wouldn't be doing a full episode this weekend. Go back and look at last week's episode if you didn't see that, and see what you see on there. The main issue, the point that I was trying to make is that these people are not backing off. They're going to be clamping down in another way. It's just the COVID thing has run its course for now. And don't get me wrong, I think they may very well come back on with more COVID restrictions in the future. But for now, they're having to back off just because people are getting so sick of it. And a lot of people are starting to realize that there's a lot of dishonesty being going on, outright deception, some scams. There's a whole lot of people doing some really nefarious things in there, and they've been caught doing it. And we'll get into those in another episode. But I did want to come on tonight and just leave you a quick video and tell you where I was at. Again, my name's Cliff. This is the Iron Mountain Hour, and we'll be back next week. We have that Discord set up so we can actually include you in some of the conversations, and you can message us in the meantime, the Iron Mountain Hour at gmail.com, or if you go on Discord, you can download the app on your phone or your PC, and you can message us on Discord. It is the Iron Mountain Hours server. And I've included that in the description, so you'll be able to find us on there. But yeah, sorry for not doing a full episode tonight, but just felt under the weather, and I did want to pop in and tell you all what was going on. So I appreciate you tuning in. And we had a request to do an episode on the Nephilim and the Watchers in the Book of Enoch, which we will definitely be doing. I've always been fascinated by that, so we'll put an episode together on that. We've also got, we still got our interview with Jack Pendergrass, Nugajack 777, Nugajack 1776. We're going to talk to him about Maximus Inc. and Governor Bill Lee. And we've got a couple other fun guests coming up. I'll tell you more about those later. But in any case, that's all for tonight. I just wanted to say hello, and hopefully you'll join us next